Good morning, all. I know I haven't made a video in a hot minute. Yeah, life happens, and I kind of got a little stagnant also with the videos that I was making, but I did start with a new company a couple weeks ago. It is a Saturday at 20 to 8. So I did start with another company a few weeks ago. Better opportunity, more money, health benefits. So yeah, that happened. And then also, what was I gonna say? It's a lot further away than where my old company was, so it's taking me like 2 hours to get home. So I'm not getting home till like 6:30, and I'm not in the mood to make dinner. So basically, I've just been making something like really quick and not especially healthy or filling. So today, besides my usual Saturday stuff, I already started the laundry. I have to clean the house and start meal prepping. So what I'm planning on making today is mac and cheese, and I have done mac and cheese on a previous video, and I don't do it the fancy way. I don't make a stew. I don't, mix all the cheese together and then put the pasta in. I don't do that. Everything gets dumped in a pan. And I'm going to make some French onion chicken, which I don't think I've made a video on that before, but it's like really good. And I'm also going to make some like taco hamburger helper. Pretty sure I did have a video on that too. But right now I have my Diet 7-Up. I did go to Walmart because next week I'm being sent to Miami for work. So I had to get a carry-on bag. And I stopped at ShopRite to get ingredients for the meal prepping. I was a little annoyed because I did have buy $40, get $10 off coupon, and the kid did not take the $10 coupon off, which was annoying. But I went to customer service to have them do it, and of course they were not open. They're not open until 8, and I wasn't going to sit around for half an hour waiting. So if I have the energy after I finish doing everything today, maybe I'll stop over there and get the $10 taken off. But right now I will show you what I got for my meal prepping from ShopRite. Alright, so I did stop at Walmart to get a carry-on. So I did get this. It's a hard suitcase. Let's back up so you can see. Cost me, with taxes and everything, $40. It does have a retractable handle here that you can pull up, which, of course, now that I'm showing you it, there we go. So it does have that. It is expandable, so because I have blueprints that I have to put in there, and they're a fairly large set of blueprints that I have to put in there, which I know I'm going to have to fold them and then sit on them and try to fit them in there. So that's what I got at Walmart this morning. And let's go to ShopRite. This whole thing cost me $47, but if you took the coupon off, it would have been $37. So we have boneless, skinless chicken thighs. This is for the French onion chicken. A loaf of bread because I just needed it. A block of Swiss cheese. This I'm going to use to make my snacks for work, and if my son wants it. And also extra sharp cheddar. This will also be used for the snacks. I put turkey sticks and then cheese cubes in a bag, and that's like a snack. If I don't need this, I may use some of it for the mac and cheese. I have some quart-size storage bags that I'm going to be putting what I cook in so I can put them in the freezer. I have elbow pasta, bow ties, and penne. We have cheddar cheese soup and French onion soup. Toothpaste for my trip. They didn't have trial size, which I was pretty bummed about. 2 things of mac and cheese blend and also mozzarella. This is for the French onion and also the, I think I may have shredded cheddar, but if not, I'll use this for the taco hamburger helper. And I also got a 0 sugar Italian sweet creamer. So that's what I got at ShopRite. All the other ingredients that I need, I already had here. Okay, I'm going to start with the mac and cheese because it's the easiest. So I have different pastas in here. If you want to be uniform, you do you. But I am just using up what I actually had in my cabinet. So I had 1 box of 1/4, 1 box of half, and then I used the box of the elbows because I want to make a lot because, you know, I want it to last at least a week, week and a half of meals, you know, lunch, dinners, stuff. And although I won't be here for 3 days next week, my son will be here, and you know, he eats a lot. I also have this frozen edamame that I'm going to throw some of this in there too, just to get some veggies in. Sometimes I put ham and peas, sometimes just peas, sometimes just ham, and sometimes just plain. I also have here about a stick and a half of butter that I'm going to put in because I'm basically doubling this. That's why I'm putting in so much butter. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put a stick. But if I was just to make like a regular dinner of mac and cheese, I would not be putting this much butter in. This one still had a piece of paper on it. And the other stick I just took out of the freezer, so it's not at room temperature just yet. So we're just gonna crack it in pieces. That's it for that. I'm going to see if I can mix this around without it becoming too much of a mess. And I start losing everything out of the pan. And I don't cook my pasta fully, because since you're putting this in the oven, it will cook fully. I have some Himalayan salt that I'm going to put in here. And yes, it does look like a lot, but it's also a lot of pasta. I have some pepper, black pepper, that I'm going to put in here. And then I have 1 bag of the mac and cheese blend that I bought this morning. Put that in here. We'll just start with half a bag so I can get it all mixed in. And like I said, like I said earlier, I don't do the whole roux thing. You know, why use more pans than you actually need? That's my thinking. You know what? You have enough to do during the day with your house and your chores and running around. I don't need to sit there for an hour and clean pans that I don't need to use. So I just use that whole bag right there. And also have to use the cheddar cheese soup. I have to open the can. I need to find the can opener. Here we are. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to grab a bowl and I'm going to put this in the bowl. Spatula. If I could get the top off, that would be like amazing. Let me get the butter knife that I was using. There we go. So I'm just going to put the soup in the bowl. And then we're going to add milk to this. Put that in the bowl. Dump it together. Rest of the soup out, because you know this Campbell's is expensive now. Well, I guess everything's expensive, but like that was really expensive. It's like over $1 for like a small can of condensed soup. I think that's ridiculous. And then we're just going to dump this in here. Mix it around as best we can so it's like all incorporated. Like so. And then I'm going to add the other bag because I like my mac and cheese like really cheesy. And by the way, this mac and cheese blend has, let me see, American, Swiss, and cheddar. So let's start with half a bag again. Spread it around, mix it around. And then I'm going to take my milk and I'm just going to pour milk in. And don't forget your pasta is going to absorb a lot of liquid while it's cooking, and also while you put it in the refrigerator or freezer. So it may look like a lot of milk, but most of this is going to be absorbed by the pasta. I have my oven set to 350. I'm going to put it in for 30 minutes. I'm probably most likely going to cook it for about 40 minutes. So in the beginning, I'm going to put it in for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to sprinkle cheese on top till it's all melted. So, and I'm going to actually put this on a cookie sheet, so if it bubbles over, it bubbles over onto the cookie sheet. And then we'll start making the French onion chicken. So let me get this in the oven. Okay, so we're going to do this French onion chicken right now. I'm going to set my stove to medium, and I'm going to melt some butter in my pan. This is the other stick of butter that I had left over from the mac and cheese. I'm just going to put that in my pan to melt. I have a Vidalia onion here that I'm just going to chop up and throw in the pan. You can use yellow onion, whatever onion you like. I particularly don't like yellow onions, so I don't use them. I used to love like red onions, but I'm not too crazy about them anymore. So for me, it's going to be a sweet onion, and that's what I'm going to use. And, you know, I'm not, obviously, not a chef, so my knife skills are not on point. So, we're just going to take these, and we're going to put them in the pan, and we're going to cook them until they're soft. And then, for the original recipe, it's 1 pounded chicken breast, but since I'm meal prepping this for, you know, quite a few meals, I actually have here 2.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And the last time I made this stew, I also used chicken thighs. It's just what I prefer. If you don't like chicken thighs, use chicken breast. And I'm just going to cut them in strips. Also, I'm not going to put them in whole. I'm just cutting them in strips. I'm not worried about the size. Let me put this in a chicken tray. I'm not worried about the size. I just think that it would be not that it would be a better meal, but you'll get more servings out of it. But, you know, you can certainly use the full pieces. And honestly, if there was like a ton of fat on these thighs, I would definitely trim some of it. But I keep the fat on things because the fat is what gives you the flavor, honestly. So whatever fat is left on here after the butcher's trimmed it is what I am leaving on. Probably could have used a serrated knife also. It is what it is. Okay, we have all that done. We're going to take our salt and our pepper. We're just going to season them. And then we're also going to take some garlic powder. Put that on. And that's it. Just gonna stir my onions. And then we're just gonna smoosh these around. Alright, I'm gonna wash my hands. Then I will get back to you when the onions have softened. Okay, my onions have softened and starting to turn translucent. So we're going to put the chicken in. And you are supposed to take the onions out and set them aside, but again, we're not using multiple dishes if it's unnecessary. So we're going to cook the chicken within the onions and the butter. And we will... You can cook these for, you know, for a few minutes till they're at least halfway done, because you will be cooking this more. So I'm gonna let these, I'm gonna leave these in the pan for about 5 minutes. So, and then come back in 5. We're gonna stir it around and get the other sides of the chicken cooked for like another 5 minutes. So I'll be back when we do that. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, so we're just going to stir the chicken around. Like so. Let the other side get semi-done. And I'll be back with next steps. I'm just going to run and check on my laundry. Okay, I vacuumed out my dryer last week. The front where the lint trap is, the back of the dryer on the inside, and the hose going outside. I vacuumed that out last week. And oh my god, is my dryer working phenomenal. It's also really hot now. I know that there are a couple of holes in the hose that I have to tape up, but I have to get duct tape for that. But, okay. On to the chicken. So we're going to mix this around. And now we're going to start adding our liquids. So we have, what size is this? 10.5 ounce can of French onion soup. And you need a cup or so of beef broth. Add that in. Mix it around. And then to this, you're going to add in like a cup of mozzarella cheese. I had in my fridge, and I'm just trying to use up what I have, the Italian style cheese from Walmart, and it is mozzarella, provolone, parmesan, romano, fontina, and Asiago cheese. So we need a cup of whatever mozzarella. I'm just happening to use this because this is what was in my fridge that I'd like to use up. Put that in there. Give it a quick stir. Okay, put a lid on your pan and put it to about low, and you're gonna, this is just gonna cook, just gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just let it do its thing for like 15 minutes. I also decided to make some rice, because you could serve this chicken over rice. Just serve it on its own with a side, whatever you choose. So in my pot here, I have 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, and I do have an electric stove. So sometimes cooking rice on an electric stove can be a little tricky, but this is what I do. I also have this Knorr chicken bouillon that I use, and I put that. I just had a little bit left in this jar. I put that in there just to give it an extra taste. You don't need to do that. Put it on high. When it boils, I put a lid on, turn the heat off, and just let it sit there for like 10, 15 minutes, whatever, till the water's absorbed and everything's good. That's how I do my rice, and that is what has worked for me for years. So that's just a tip from me to you. All right, my timer went off for the mac and cheese after 30 minutes. So I just added on top the rest of the mac and cheese blend and some cheddar cheese. So I'm just going to throw this in the oven for about another 20 minutes or so. Okay, our chicken is done. So we're going to turn it off. Now you can mix it around. And then when you serve this, you'll just add some extra cheese on top when you warm it up, or you're going to serve it, you know, right away for dinner. Just add some extra cheese on top to melt it, and there you are. But right now, I'm going to set it aside to cool off so that I can bag it up, put it in the freezer, and we'll start setting up for the next one. Alright, so in this pan I have 2 pounds of chopped meat. Still a little frozen, but it'll cook down. If you're just going to do this a regular meal, it's going to be 1 pound of chopped meat. But since I'm doubling it for freezer meals, I'm using 2. So I'm just going to cook this down, and then I'll be back. Okay, so my chopped meat's pretty much done. I did drain out some of the liquid, not all of it. There was quite a bit because the meat was still frozen in spots. So you're going to take some taco seasoning. I just have this. If you have packet, add that in. As much as you want. So, just gonna mix it around. Like so. I believe I had made this before in another video, but since I'm making it again, I figured I would just film it again. Then you're going to take a can of black beans, and you're going to dump the water out. And then you're going to dump that in here, in there. Then you're going to take diced tomatoes with chilies And you're also going to drain it. Turn my heat down a little. Dump these in. Mix it around. So that's the mac and cheese. Then, and this is also a one pot dump everything. Then after that, you're going to take some tomato sauce, whichever kind you want. I had this in my fridge, tomato, basil, garlic, so I'm just going to finish that off. Then, just going to add some more. Measurements I cannot give you because I've just made this so many times. I know what I like. Be nice. Frickin' jar would open. And this is just traditional pasta sauce. So you can dump that in there. Stir that around. Hopefully my pot is big enough. Then you're going to take some pasta. I have here bow ties. Whatever pasta you want. Doesn't matter. You're going to dump this in there. I'm using a full box because, like I said, I'm doubling it. And it's just unfortunate I only had 1 can of black beans and 1 can of chilies in my pantry. I didn't buy additional. But obviously, if you're doubling it, you would put 2 of each. Put your pasta in there, and then you're gonna get some water. You're gonna add water to this. I just used the can of black beans I had. You're gonna mix this around again. Then you're going to take some cheddar cheese, and you're going to add your cheddar cheese in to your heart's desire, however much you want. So, 2 big handfuls I just used. Again, mix, 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 mix. Put your temperature on low, your stove on low, mine is on low. Take a lid, put it on top, cook it until the pasta is done. So, 15-20 minutes. Okay, my mac and cheese is done. I just took it out of the oven. It's still bubbling. So I'm going to let this cool off before I put it in freezer bags. I may actually have some of this now because I'm kind of hungry. And as you can see, my stove is pretty much full, so I'm not making eggs or anything. And my rice is perfectly cooked. This I'll also cool off and put in a container in the fridge. So yeah, so we're just waiting for this to cool off, waiting for that to cook, and everything else to cool off. Okay, so I have my bowl, mac and cheese. Let's see how it is. It certainly smells good. I hope there's enough cheese. Definitely enough cheese, enough salt, enough pepper. Yes, I will call this a win. I'm going to have this as my breakfast / lunch, my brunch at 10 to 11. I'm going to let the taco hamburger helper finish cooking. Let everything cool off. And right now, I'm going to sit my ass on the couch and watch something. My feet hurt from standing. Okay, this is what the last dish looks like when it's done. So the pasta's cooked, so I just have to wait for it to cool off so I can bag it up. I'll show you what I have so far. I put the chicken French onion in a container that's going to go in the fridge. This is a couple servings. I put my rice in 2 containers. Those are going in the fridge. I put 2 serving sizes of the mac and cheese in containers. Those are going in the fridge. I have 3 bags of the mac and cheese. This is like, between my son and I, this would be 2 dinners each, not 4 servings each in each of these bags. So I have 3 of these bags. I have 2 bags of the French onion chicken that's going in the freezer. This is 2 servings and 2 servings. So that is what I have so far. So I'm going to pack these up. I've cleaned up my kitchen while I went. So right now I just cleaned all the pans and everything. Just got to let them dry, put them away, and there we go. Okay, so I just packed up the taco burger in the bags. I'm going to leave them out on the counter just to cool off a little bit more. But I have about 6 servings here. So, yeah, so that's the prepping that I'm going to be doing today. That's it. No more. But I think I got a pretty good head start on the food prep. So I'm going to have to be doing more food prep, definitely, not only because I get home late, but I also now get paid bi-weekly, not getting paid weekly. So that's going to help me out too with meals, so we don't run out of a bunch of stuff like every week. And so I want to try to get myself in the habit of meal prepping again. So today was the start of that. I get paid next week. We'll do some more meals. I'll go through my binder that I have my recipes on and pick out what I want to make, because there's quite a few recipes I have in there that, 1, I haven't made in a really long time, or 2, that I have wanted to make, I just haven't done it. So I'm going to go through that and figure out what I'm going to prep next weekend when I get paid. It's Sunday morning. I pulled the crock pot out, so I'm just going to make some chicken in the crock pot. So I have 2 chicken breasts that I'm just going to put in whole. They are frozen, because I just took them out this morning, and it is a little after 9. With that, we are going, oh, actually, it looks like what I pulled out is chicken breasts and 2 thighs. That's fine. So we're going to add some, I have this roasted garlic and herb seasoning that I got at Walmart. I'm going to put this in. And then I have some paprika. And just going to flip them over. And we're just going to do the roasted herb and garlic on the other side. And I'm going to add like half a stick of butter. This is going to be super simple. Just throw it in the bottom. I did spray the bottom of my crock pot so that nothing sticks. And then to this, we're going to add, if you have chicken stock, add chicken stock. It's going to be a cup of water. It's actually going to be like, if you have chicken stock, it will be a cup of chicken stock. I do not have, I just have chicken bouillon, so I put in a cup of water. And I have the Knorr chicken bouillon here. Brand new. And yes, I'm using my teeth. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. Sprinkle some. Put the lid on. If you're not using frozen like me, it would be on low for 3 hours. Since I'm using frozen, I am going to do it low for 5 hours. So that will be my dinner for tonight. And also, I have some yellow potatoes that I'm gonna clean, chop up. I'm not gonna peel them, chop them up and boil them, and when dinner's ready, they'll be ready to mash. So that's what I'm having. And I realized I don't have any like vegetables except for that edamame. I do have canned corn. Maybe I'll have canned corn with that. But yeah, that's dinner.